Hey there, my name is Brian with the Norcold Guy. Today we're going to go through a checklist of things to look for when you're buying a used coach. Things for your refrigerator specifically. We're just going to make sure that some of the basics are working and that you understand the basic operation of the refrigerator. So before we get into that checklist, we're first just going to explain how the basic operation of this refrigerator is. It does look like your normal household refrigerator, but it's very different. It's a gas absorption system and it's gravity operated. So the very first thing you need to be aware of, no matter where you're traveling and where you're setting up, shop for the night, you need to make sure that you're perfectly level. Within 3 degrees of perfectly level every time you stop, because if you're not, the ammonia can't flow down the cooling unit coils like it's designed to. It overheats, and that's what causes these cooling units to fail. So if you just focus on that, just focus on level operation, leveling your coach when you get to a park, everything should be fine. You're at least going to save the cooling unit that way. The first thing you're going to look at when you're buying a coach is whether or not this is a double sidewall vent setup or you have one side vent and one roof vent. And basically that is determined by whether or not your refrigerator is built into a slide out. This refrigerator isn't a slide out, and usually you have more issues when it does come to a slide out because of the way it's vented, and so that's what we're going to get into here. Next thing you want to check while you're out here is your burner. Your burner, you can see through this little opening. This will slide and you can check it out. I'm not going to do it right now, but you do want to inspect the burner to make sure there's no corrosion on it and make sure that there's no hint of blue on the metal part itself. If there is, that's a sign that there's a downdraft issue and another ventilation problem you might have from driving down the road. So if they're not going to test the refrigerator for you and go through it, just make sure you're looking at this back area and inspect the right area here around where the AC heaters go in and all of this bottom area for yellowish powder or residue or any smell of ammonia. If either exist, that's signs that your cooling unit has failed, so you don't need to go much further than that. Things that are really important about your ventilation. One, you want to make sure that you have a chimney effect, that you have good airflow going up your lower vent, going out of your upper vent. So you do want to make sure that it's baffled. And by baffled, I just mean sheet metal or wood, something to force air across the fins up at the very top of the cooling unit. There should be less than 1 inch of space back there. Check to make sure there's no bug nest back there, that no insulation has fallen down and is blocking the airflow. If neither exists, then you should be good to go, and you can start inspecting the inside. The next thing you're going to want to check is the door seals. So this is a 1210 model. It's a really common 4-door unit. It's replaced the 1200, so it's something that you're going to see in most Class A's. So you want to check the door seals and just to make sure that there's no rips or tears. When it's closed, with one door closed, you'll take a dollar bill, you'll fold it over, and you're just going to make sure that there's good tension all the way around the door seals. If there is, then you're good to go. You will see that the seals up on the top, this is supposed to stick out like this. The other thing you want to make sure of is this flapper, and nothing's broken on it. It is about $150 fix. This one is broken down at the bottom, and so air can leak in here, and you will get excess condensation inside the unit. The next thing I would look at is right here, your door contact pins. This unit has 3 of them, and you'll see this one looks like it's been melting the plastic. It's really hot, and that's because the door is sagging a little bit. These are not making good contact with these pins, so the door actually needs to be raised up. So you just back out the hinges here, raise the door up, tighten it back down, make sure it's tight, and you should be good to go. That is just from arcing. That's from electricity passing through the plastic because this pin is not making good contact. If that does melt all the way through, you will eventually need to replace the whole refrigerator. The only other thing I'd mention is that when you are traveling down the road, the reason that this is a gas absorption unit is so that you can run it on propane. So when you are traveling, provided you're not running your generator while you're driving, it runs on propane. Or if you're going to be boondocking like I am right now, you're camping out here and you're not plugged into power, this can run just fine. So you shouldn't worry about it running on propane. The only thing you really need to worry about is off-level operation. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you do end up needing parts for your Norcold refrigerator, head over to the norcoldguy.com. We have anything and everything for every model that's still in production and a lot of models that are out of production. We also provide tech support where I can actually walk you through some basic troubleshooting steps to get your refrigerator working again if it does fail and you're not near a service center or anything like that. It's $50, and the tech support also does give you discounts on parts. So if you do need anything, reach out to us, let us know. And once again, thanks for tuning in.